Welcome back guys, and I'm really excited to be here. For a few reasons. Firstly, this video should have been done at least 3 weeks ago, but I unexpectedly and most inconveniently fell really sick. Sore throat, flu, the works, and I lost my voice for 2 weeks. So it's a relief to actually be able to speak again. Guys, never take what you have for granted and seize every moment. Secondly, I want to say thanks to some of you who are starting to leave me comments. I really appreciate it, but more than that, I'm delighted that even after this long, people still appreciate these beautiful dragons. I've received some private messages sharing with me some of the delights you've experienced in procuring some of these dragons. So it's great that people are still hunting dragons from eBay, and I hope that my videos can play a small role in helping you to decide. I should also say thanks to those of you who have actually sent me YouTube comments, but you know guys, I have no way of replying because there doesn't seem to be a reply button in the comments page. So I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you, and thanks a lot for writing. Finally, I'm so excited because I'm going to review my favorite dragon from Series 3, the Eternal Dragon. I've said it before, I believe that the Eternals are some of the most beautiful dragons in the series, worthy of the name, and today we have a very unusual Eternal indeed. The first thing you notice is that you're not getting a typical roaring dragon, fighting dragon, or even wing-spreading dragon. In fact, you have a dragon that is quite the opposite. It's quiet, relaxed with folded wings, and far from fierce. You have for the first time, in fact, a picture of serenity, peace, and tenderness, a nesting mother. And in fact, for those of you who are MISB collectors, the presentation of this dragon in the box is really a nice arrangement. You see the full dragon without the need to attach any wings in the same pose as she would be on display. You can see also the unusual base comprising of a couple of unhatched eggs and a little chick crying out for food. So if you want to leave her in package, you can, but I for one will not. So without further ado and any unnecessary gilding of the lily, let's get her open. So here are the 3 pieces that comprise the diorama. You have of course the dragon, the nest, and... Alright, come on now. Come on. Come on. There you go. A tiny dragon chick. So first, the base. Now unlike other dragons, the base itself is not just a supporting structure, it's an integral part, if not the centerpiece. Now color-wise, it's quite drab, but it's okay because what you see is a nest of 3. You wouldn't want eye-catching colors as a signal to egg predators screaming, "Get me now!" A shallow pit, 2 eggs are still intact, with a 3rd one hatched. The nest does have some detail, suggesting it's a natural formation, but here you see a blending with rock. So it looks like this was a nest that was gradually built up and then held together by sliver, just like in bird's nests today. Considering how much the bird nest delicacy costs, I wouldn't want to find out how much dragon's nest costs. The baby itself is a separate piece, and it's a really endearing little creature. There are some typical features of animal young, such as an oversized head, undersized wings, and reduced horns. Now in the same way you might look at a tiger's little cub and say, "Oh, so cute," but knowing that it'll grow up to be a hunter-killer, you'll kind of get the same feeling here. But there's just something about him that is so endearing. Little guy, all green, and guess what? He actually does stand on his own 2 feet. So you pretty much can put him anywhere you want to. One word of caution though. You see some lines and they appear to be what look like joint seams. You see them on the arms and the legs, but they are in fact not articulations. They don't articulate, so don't mess about with those or you're likely to snap his limbs off. Little guy. Now, the dragon herself. If you've become used to the typical depiction of a snarling, roaring, fire-breathing dragon, then this dragon in repose will totally surprise you. The wings, far from being outstretched, are enfolded inwards as a sort of protective shelter for the nest. No roaring dragon here, but one closed mouth, trying to keep quiet as if not to disturb the peace of the nest. The color is not very dramatic, but there is still a very nice contrast. I like these sharp black, almost flash-like pennants on the tail, the hips going up the sides of the animal, and I love this almost pointing upwards towards the head as a sort of accent. That's really nice. I do have a bit of a disappointment, however. If you look at the concept art, you'll see that it has quite a bit of green down the hips and tail, and I actually like that a lot, but the actual dragon itself doesn't have that. It does have some green streaks, but it's really faded, and this is one of those times where I wish I had learned how to paint models as a kid, because this is something I would definitely have wanted to touch up on my own. Now, while the whole dragon is plain in color, the details are a different story. Very typically McFarlane. Now, again, like with all the most of the other dragons, you see differently shaped plates, scale patterns, and little spines that are still evident in this dragon. I like especially the contrast between these longish belly plates with these very closely packed studs on the sides of the neck of the animal. And even in the neck region itself, you can see a transition of sizes and shapes from the side to the top. And again, you have typical spines down the animal. Very nicely detailed horns, and especially like the detail on the face of the animal itself, surrounding that yellow, rather baleful looking eye, which is again very nicely painted. It's actually a little bit shiny, so really well done. Here also, I like the contrast between the spines that are protruding from the vertebrae of the animal, contrasting with these rounded scutes fringing the ilia of the animal. So again, you have that range of detail that really makes this a very typical McFarlane dragon. And drab as the color is, I think the detail really makes up for it. Some spines on the tail of the animal, and then detailing on the feet of the creature. So very nicely done. Articulation is minimal as expected, but really, you know, there is some articulation here, and you can kind of move the wings a little bit in and out. In fact, it's so unnecessary, I'm surprised they do it at all, because this whole animal fit very nicely in the box. So how does it all fit together? Well, look, there are a couple of bags here, and again corresponding holes on the nest. And unlike a lot of other McFarlane dragons, fitting them together is a breeze. As for this little guy, he doesn't actually peg in anywhere, so you've got the flexibility of putting him anywhere you like. Maybe here, he could be straying a little bit away. And that's nice. It's nice that you actually have a separate little, cute little figure like that you can put anywhere you want. Overall, I feel that the subdued nature of the coloring actually works for this scene, because it really enhances the feeling of peace here. You know, what this diorama depicts is a natural, domestic home care scene, and the lack of distractions focuses your attention on the true idea of the piece, a nursing scenario. This isn't something you see every day. and it's a really welcome contrast to any other dragons you might already have. I love nature. I've said before, I love how the McFarlane team seems to have designed the dragons with true life in mind, and here you have just an epitome of that, telling you that dragons aren't just a caricature, but are real animals that mate, have children, care for their young, and raise families too. So this really puts a very balanced, almost sympathetic slant on the entire McFarlane Dragon series, and is a worthy addition to your collection in my opinion. Hello! Yeah, I keep getting distracted by this little guy. So till next time, and hopefully in a shorter time, I'll see you with yet another McFarlane Dragon review. Till then, best wishes for the second third of the year. Get cracking on those goals, because before you know it, it's going to be the final third of the year, and then it's going to be a new year again. So, take care everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.